Hello and welcome back. If it's your first time here, I'm Scott.
And I'm Allison.
And today we're jaw-jacking with Jarhead and Ginger. We've been back in Texas now for 3 weeks and haven't stopped going since we got back. We've got a lot to catch you guys up on. Stick around.
Well, we're back in Texas, like you said, and let me tell you what, it's all falling apart.
Everything's falling apart.
Not everything, also everyone. So we've had some RV trouble, some health issues, but then we have some really good news at the end, so stick around for a grandbaby update.
Woo! We're getting by-the-minute updates on the grandbabies, so that should be fun here at the end.
Yes.
Let's start with the RV repairs, or possible repairs. When we were about 3 weeks or so from getting back to Texas, I was climbing up the ladder to sweep off the top and make sure there wasn't anything in the slides. And I looked down the sidewall and noticed I have a black tank flush on the outside towards the rear of our RV. I noticed just above that there was a weird mark. And as I went over there, I realized it was actually a bump in the wall. Now, I know delamination is a thing, but as far as I can tell, there's no water damage. There's nothing coming in from the top that I can see. And I don't use that black tank flush because we don't use our rear bathroom. So I know it's not coming from the blowback valve like the problem I had with the front one. So we took it in to Holiday World, and all they really could do was take pictures and send it into Grand Design. We did that on Monday, so we're waiting to hear. They said give them about a week or so, and then call them back, and they'll see what Grand Design says as far as fixing it, or it's not a problem, or whatever it's going to be. But what it looks like to me is that one of the aluminum studs in the wall came loose somehow and is trying to push its way outward in the wall. It's very strange. So the guy at Holiday World said, like, worst case scenario, they're going to want you to replace that whole sidewall, which is the whole driver's side of our RV. That wall also has 2 slides in it. So I think that would be a gigantic undertaking, and we would probably be out of our RV for quite some time.
He did mention even that they might want us to actually take it to Indiana or send it to Indiana back to the Grand Design Factory, since that's such a big job. So we're just waiting to hear what's going on. If we do need to get to Indiana, thankfully they said it is, we can wait on it. It's not a big issue. We can still move it. So we might go up there in the spring. Yeah,
look, because I asked them, I said, is it mobile? I mean, can we go down the road with it? Or, you know, is a big hole going to be in the side, or is the whole side going to fall off? I don't know what's happening in there. So he said, no, it should be fine. Should be. And so we took it back, and we're full timing in it. So obviously we're living in it right now. Another thing that fell apart on us, a lot smaller of an issue,
yes,
is one of our fans. We have fantastic fans, 3 of them, and the one in the bathroom, Allison went to turn it on, and there's a motor in there that raises the lid, and when the lid got all the way raised, the motor just kept going because there's some teeth in there on the motor, and all the teeth in there are broken off. So as it was winding it up, the lid was just flapping like this, and it wasn't going all the way up and stopping the motor from turning anymore. So I took it apart, and I went in and tried to get the motor. They didn't have any in stock, of course, but I have to order one online and then get them to send it in, and then that'll be an easy fix. But it goes with our everything's falling apart.
Thankfully, it's under warranty.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, it's just this little teeny tiny part, And that would probably, cost like less than $1 at a hardware store if they had such a part. But instead you have to replace the whole motor, and it's like $70, but it is covered under warranty.
That's right. The motor still works fine. There's a piece that's literally an inch long and is about the size of a pencil in diameter. One end of that goes onto the motor, and one end of that goes into the arm that raises the lid, and that's the only piece that I really need. Other than that, the rest of it works fine.
So that's it for the RV, but now we also have issues with the truck, the tires specifically. What's going on there?
I'm not exactly sure. We've got about 30,000 miles on the brand new truck.
Already.
Tires, yeah, already. That's a lot of miles, but on the tires, they only have 30,000 miles. And I noticed that a lot of the treads, the depths are different on each square. The treads are square, and one square will be like 1/4 of an inch, less than the next one, and so on and so on. Also, there's little chunks coming out of some of the squares also. Luckily, Allison's cousin's husband, our cousin, I guess, also, is a tire guy, and he's been doing like heavy equipment tires and stuff for a long time. And he's looked at them. He said they're probably defective tires, and he said take it into the dealership and see if they'll replace them for you, because that would be free. Otherwise, he's going to be able to get me tires if I need them, and we'll go from there. So I'm just waiting on an appointment with the Ford dealership. Hopefully they'll say they're defective tires and they'll just replace them for me. That would be ideal. That way I don't have to spend, the $300 per tire or more to replace the fronts. So that's all the equipment falling apart. What about you?
I'm falling apart, y'all. We've talked about it for a while, how my feet really hurt, and I thought it was plantar fasciitis. I was actually diagnosed with plantar fasciitis at an urgent care. They didn't even look at my feet, y'all. They just listened to what I had to say. So I got back to Texas, made my appointment to get a general practitioner so I can get all my annual stuff done, and then get a referral to a podiatrist. So went to the podiatrist, and they did x-rays as soon as I got there, and it is not plantar fasciitis. It is severe arthritis. I have, maybe we can put the x-rays up. I don't know how well they'll show up, but I have like this weird spur thing, like a hook in my foot.
Ain't nobody wants to see that anyway.
And then it's in the heel of my right foot. And then the toes, my right big toes are just almost bone on bone from the arthritis. And that's why I'm having so much pain and such a hard time walking. And so he did say that walking, the more I walk, the worse it's going to get. However, he did recommend to keep walking for cardio, or also swimming would be a good thing. But we're here in Texas, it's November, and it's starting to get cold, so I'm not going to go in the pool here at the campground because it's not heated. So I need to find a Planet Fitness or something with an indoor pool so that I could start swimming. Also want to start riding a bike again and get that done. But it does look like I'm going to have foot surgery. I'm putting it off because the grandbaby and helping out my daughter. So hopefully in January I'll be able to get that foot surgery done. I'm going to try other methods because I'd rather try natural medicine than be cut open. So we'll see. Keep me posted on that.
Yeah. It's been bad for a long time, guys. She's been having a real hard time walking. If she walks for any length of time, it just gets worse and worse as the day goes on, too. But yeah, you guys probably don't want to see those x-rays, but if she makes me, I'll put them in there. And you would have seen them by now. Hopefully you're not eating.
Yeah. So that's been, the rough part of it, getting back and having to deal with all that at once. Also, a rough part of it, which is also a blessing, is the baby. More news on that coming up. But let me tell you something else wonderful that has happened. Like, this is the best news ever. On Halloween Sunday, October 31st, we went to church, and Jarhead here got dunked. My cousin dunked him. My cousin's husband dunked him. He got baptized, y'all, in our church here in Texas, and we're also going through the classes to become members at that church. So just so thankful for that. Love that church. Champion Life Center, Spring, Texas, y'all. It's awesome.
Yeah, we were waiting. We knew it was coming up here, and I actually signed up online. They have an app, so I signed up online a few weeks or maybe even a couple of months now ago. So we knew it was going to be coming up on that day, and that's just another reason we wanted to come back to Texas, because we knew that was coming up, as well as our daughter having the baby. Which, if you didn't know, or if you don't follow us on our Facebook page, you didn't know I was baptized. If you did, it was probably there.
Yeah. Another great thing that happened, we walked down. They had a trunk or treat here down at the park, so we just walked down with Harry to check out the kids and the costumes. And first people we ran into, we met Hinton the Trail. They were down there at the trunk or treat, and we also met some friends of theirs, Road Ventures USA. So we got to meet 2 YouTube channels, and hopefully we'll get to see more and hang out with them more.
That's right. We swapped stickers with Hinton the Trail. I don't think that Road Ventures had stickers on them, or maybe they don't have them at all. But we will be probably crossing paths with them quite a bit this winter, as they're wintering down here in Texas also.
Now, the news you've all been waiting for, the grandbaby. Now, we weren't supposed to be back to Texas originally until mid-November, and my daughter Tiffany was getting kind of anxious. She said, I might have this baby early. I don't want to have the baby at my baby shower. I need to go ahead and have the baby shower. So we planned to get back mid-October then, so that we could do her baby shower. She was going to do the baby shower October 23rd. But the church had a church festival, fall festival that day, so she did it the Saturday before, had the baby shower. And that's a good thing, because on the 23rd, she went into the hospital with early labor, 33 weeks. She made it till Tuesday, had Georgia Faith, is a little baby girl. She was 3 pounds, 14 ounces, 19 3/4 inches long. So she's tall and skinny little baby.
She's going to look like olive oil.
Yeah. And she's doing great. Mom has had some problems, but she's getting better too. And just such a blessing. We were asking all of our friends for prayers, and we thank you all for lifting her up. And baby's still in the hospital. She's just going to learn to eat without the feeding tube, and then she can go home. She's up to 4.6 pounds now.
Wow.
So, and it's only been, she is 9 days old almost. At 4:09 today, she'll be 9 days old. And we'll throw a picture in, because she is a cutie, y'all. I don't know if we're going to be leaving Texas again, because I can't bear to leave that baby.
Phew. When it gets to 100 and 100% humidity, you will.
Yeah, I can FaceTime, I guess.
The worst thing about the baby coming so early is she's in the NICU. And the hospitals here with everything will only allow our daughter's husband and one other person to be in the room with the patient. But that doesn't include the NICU. Nobody can go into the NICU except for mom or dad, one at a time. So we haven't even been able to see the baby, only by FaceTiming and pictures. And she's almost 9 weeks old. 9 days old, sorry. And that's the hardest part for her, for sure.
Yesterday, though, I was at Kohl's. I had dropped Tiffany at the hospital to spend time with Georgia, and who's also, by the way, a World Series baby. I got to throw this in here, because she had her on
First game
of the World Series. She had Georgia Faith, and Tiffany named Georgia because she lived in Georgia for 9 years and really loved that state. That's where she finished growing up to adulthood. And so she's been a Braves fan, and now she's living in Texas for several years, and she's also an Astros game. So she had a little Astros fan. So she had a little, dilemma. Who do I root for? So she was happy either way with the World Series.
Yeah. She was in that hospital having that baby at World Series Game 1.
So I had dropped Tiffany off at the hospital to spend time with her yesterday, and I was in Kohl's, and my phone rang, and I was shopping in the baby department, and my phone rang, and it was little Georgia Faith. She called me on FaceTime, and I got to talk to her, and I was standing in Kohl's, just bawling, talking to my grandbaby. And when it was time to go, she blew me kisses. I'll show you the picture. She blew me kisses, y'all. She's just so precious.
I was at home, and she sent me this picture she's talking about. And the first thing I thought of was she was doing the duck lips like all the kids do nowadays. It's like, man, already? She's only 7, 8 days old.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So that's our big update. Let me tell you, we've mentioned before, it really pays to be flexible. In our 1,000 Trails membership, we get to stay in the park for 3 weeks, and then we have to be out for a week. Thankfully, we could buy an extra week. I think you can do that twice a year. So for only $29, we bought an extra full week, and we're able to stay here, which is the closest 1,000 Trails to the hospital and to Tiffany's house. And then, so after next week, we have to move out to another 1,000 Trails or find a local campground that's not so far away, so that I can continue to go help Tiffany at home, and when the baby comes home, and be able to go see her and help out.
If you're still here, thanks for sticking around to the end. We'll see you next time on
Jaw Jacking with Jarhead and Ginger. Bye.